Hey guys, Bitcoin. Yep. So here we go. A little bit of key levels of significance that it just ran into from previous history. The bits I'm going to show you here, we've got to remember head and shoulders only apply on cyclical end of trends. So this is a acceptable fractal of a head and shoulders because this is an uptrend. So it's in proportion. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Amazingly, we already have an axis from a downside HVF and it captures perfectly the shoulders. So we take that level from there down to there, we project it down and we get that target made, it breaks it and it rallies, it falls lower. Also, we can argue we got a left shoulder here, micro upside HVF in there. Big complex head down to the same level. See, it just runs the red line and rallies. Right shoulder. This right shoulder failed there. A little bit bigger right shoulder than the HVF here, but neckline target that comes from the same peak of the head down there, that was run on a capitulation and then rally. But since then the rally claimed back the oversell and the panic sellers, but it's not strong. It's not strong for this time frame under review. Remember that every opinion is always in the context of the time frame under review. It's not strong 30 minutes. So this is called progress decay. We use that a lot in the HVF method to describe what happens after a target's made when it's no longer going down in this instance, but it's not really going, has its rally, but it's not really going anywhere fast, and it's still a bit bloated and tired and a bit flat. So not overtly bullish for Bitcoin, and scope for a little bit more bleeding to the downside. And then we have a look at this whole structure since the sell-off has never been super healthy again, but it's not been a confirmed bear either. The worst case scenario would have been a not making a higher high here. What we have is a marginally higher high, which is reasonably bearish because it's not gone a lot higher, but it's not bearish if it had just rallied weaker, turned here and come down really hard and made a flat bottom. It didn't do that. So it's kind of in a bit of a nowhere land, but a bit bloated and tired. So let's have a look at some of the other coins. So Ripple, you've got to watch. There's a little bit of a scope of, after giving us an upside HVF, we traded very successfully, and before with a great target, it's kind of made a head and come back down, and you get an inverted HVF structure. Yeah, a small rally here, but this is inverted structure. So you've got Ripple bleeding against Bitcoin. You've got Bitcoin bleeding against the dollar. Ripple potentially bleeding. It's had a big run to the upside, but I think it's turned. Where's all the money going? And the answer to that is not UDA, because you've got a similar structure on UDA compared to Bitcoin as you had with Ripple. So again, upside continuation, and then it prematurely pumped, got spanked when Bitcoin got spanked to the go away please, and then rallied really strong. So this was wanting to be continuation, premature start, pulled back and then rallied. Now it's come back, and this is much less bullish. It's similar to Ripple. So once again, we've now looked at the then number 2, now number 3 in the coin market cap. That was Ripple. And we're also looking here at Cardano, which is UDA, which is sitting there at number 5. So we've looked at 3 and 5. Cash isn't doing much. It's all going into Ethereum. There's your percentages. That's right. We've been lucky enough to keep getting continuations on that. We were long from $300. We got out and the running of the 600s. It went quite a bit further and then turned, and that was on against the US dollar, by the way, so it was a dollar trade. Turned and then went down to 500 after running into the 800s, and then set up again and gave us the $1,100 move. So it might be worth showing some of those against the dollar. But before I do that, this is Ethereum against Bitcoin. And it's following the cycle of earlier this year. First we traded Ripple long, and then we switched to Ethereum. And it's done it exactly again. And during that period, Bitcoin has shed percentage in market cap. There was the pump for Ethereum. It went to virtually 15%, through 15%, and it traded all the way down to nearly 2. Just a bit above 2. Since then, this has been a nice strong move, very impulsive here. And we're just crossing the 50% fib. This could make a nice relative high too. Somewhere over here, possibly, if it managed to carry on and didn't die at this level. It could make for a very good continuation. In much the same way, Ripple against Bitcoin has done very much the same. So if we go 4 hours, let's do it a little bit more daily. There you go. That was its pump in the beginning of the year. Very similar. We were shorting throughout here. Downside setups, traded a whole bunch lower. Down at 2s, having traded 24s. Yep, up top 24s. And this has stopped just short of that. So you've got a relative high 2 and you've got a bearish setup. Plenty scope for Ripple to sell off against the Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin's not looking so strong. So the long Ethereum short Ripple trade is certainly an exciting and interesting proposition if you can structure that. So of the big caps, those are the ones that are bleeding potentially to come, Cardano and Ripple. Ethereum is strong, Bitcoin is weak-ish, and Cash is just marginally stronger than Bitcoin against Bitcoin, but is shedding a little bit in the dollars terms, being 2.5, bleeding 2388. So that's your top 5 accounted for. And then you have the likes of NEM and Litecoin. So that's my take on the top 5. We've got interesting ideas on just outside that top 5 on where there's going to be some real action. And we're going to be discussing that further in our premium section. Anyway, just thought I'd give you that quick update. Ethereum is sucking the juice out of the top 5 at the moment. Long live the king. I promised you an Ethereum USD. So let's just, before we sign off, an Ethereum USD chart, and this is HVF method trading and playing it like a proper gem. We'll go Ethereum on Polynex. We'll go with the tether if it is there. Yep. That is it. Ethereum against the dollar. It's not logarithmic. So we had a beautiful setup here. This was our what we called our $300 trade with the $600 target. It then set up again here, again with another move. So HVF's everywhere on Ethereum against the dollar, all through there, and again later on after running the target again through there. That's had us sit in it, and it has had a habit of overperforming on this upside in much the same way in the beginning of the year it's overperformed. So it's gone totally parabolic in the dollar terms, and you're looking at it at 1285, which is pretty juicy, and eventually it'll get a little ahead of itself and it'll top out. But I think there's more chance for continuation patterns on the way up for now, and happy to be holding Ethereum. But that said, when you eventually get too stretchy here, you'll probably have a blow off moment. But there is scope. We're only 50% of the original up leg. Polynex doesn't have that, but you saw it against Bitcoin over here. So where's she gone? With the down leg. So this was all the period of Bitcoin strength that you don't have on the dollar, because it's been one-way ticket. So if Bitcoin stays indifferent and soft, you could easily get Ethereum up top here at 12s again on the Bitcoin cross. And certainly if it runs through the 10s and 10.3s, you're going to be through the 61.8% retracement, which will imply quite a bullish return to form. So that's my take on the top 5. I hope it's useful. And if you like what we do, pop over to the Market Sniper webpage, themarketsniper.com, and crypto is the game, and getting you a return and a multiple on your investment with us in the crypto game, well ahead of just a plain hodl, is part of what we do. So we have a couple of coins that we are expecting 2.5x on, and another where we think 5 or 6, and they're liquid and they're big. So while we get plenty of opportunities on the smaller ones, we like the big liquid trades so that you can move serious Bitcoin in and out as well. So stay tuned and come and get involved if it suits. It's not for everybody. Okay, bye bye for now.